Hey guys, welcome back to SunshinehazeCo. I'm AUJHA. This is going to be a quick video on the Mercury Retrograde that we are currently in. Doesn't say that we're dealing with, we are dealing with it. This is the second retrograde to join the, what I like to call the retrograde cluster. We've also got Pluto there. And which one is this? We have 4 this year, I believe. Let me just double check on that. Mercury retrogrades 3 or 4 times a year. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, Mercury is going to be in retrograde 4 times this year. This is the second Mercury retrograde. This time it is going to start in Gemini and station direct in the sign of Taurus. Okay. This is an optical illusion. So whenever we have Mercury in retrograde, it appears as if the planet is spinning backwards, but it's actually just starting, stopping, moving over spaces that it hit, degrees that hit excuse me, I don't know why I can get that out, that it has already hit, and then stationing direct and passing over those degrees again. Mercury retrograde coming through. I'm having a hard time talking, you guys. Speaking to the energy as far as retrogrades go, I like to call it a reflect and correct energy. So, you know, taking the time to stop, slow down, look at what you've got going on, analyze the things that you've got going on, and excuse me, make corrections wherever you need to make them. I need some water. Okay, let's get back into a groove here. So reflecting and correcting is the energy that comes with the retrograde period, and it is lent to the areas that planet governs within your life. So Mercury governs communication, short-term travel. If you look or read old astrology books, it'll say that Mercury governs sisters and brothers and neighbors, which is really your companionships, your relationships with other people. Mercury also governs our mental, like our perspective, our intellect, the way that we look at life, the way that we process things, in our mental health. Okay, this retrograde, I think I mentioned already that it's starting in Gemini, sign of the twins, ending in the sign of Taurus, the bull. It already started, like I said, true Mercury retrograde fashion. I did not get this up before the retrograde started. It started on May 10th, about a week ago, and we were in the shadow. The shadow started at the end of April, so we've been feeling Mercury retrograde energy since April 26th. The retrograde actually started on the 10th. It will be going until June 3rd, and the post shadow of Mercury retrograde is going to end on June 18th. So while the planet will station direct on the 3rd, we'll still be feeling residual Mercury retrograde energy on throughout the first half of the month. Okay. Let's get into the specific energies for this particular retrograde. We've got it, Gemini, which is a very imaginative, inquisitive. Gemini is an air sign, analytical, intellectual, adaptable type of energy. On the shadow side, also social. On the shadow side, Gemini can be a little aloof, impulsive, indecisive, and superficial. We've also got Taurus, which is a diligent energy, determined, generous, loyal, loving, and on the shadow side, stubborn, selfish, lazy. If you know any Tauruses or Geminis, if you've dealt with them on the light side, you've got those good qualities. If you've dealt with them on the shadow side, you've probably dealt or seen them exhibit those negative qualities or those shadow qualities that I just mentioned. So this particular retrograde overall energy is reflecting and correcting, speaking to Gemini and Taurus energy. As far as this goes, is stopping and looking at what our process looks like, how we are, Taurus is the bull, so how we are charging forward toward the path, or charging forward toward the success that we want to see, what we're doing on this path, what we're doing on our journey. Gemini is this air sign, so we're going to be reflecting and correcting as far as how we need to adapt in certain areas to make it so that we are actually moving forward to the spaces that we want to see ourselves in. With this Taurus energy at the start of the retrograde, at some point during the retrograde, you're probably going to feel or see a little bit of like stagnancy, a little bit of resistance. You may also see with the Gemini energy a little bit of chaos, just trying to figure things out and things not fitting into place, kind of feeling like you've got puzzle pieces that don't fit into the puzzle that you have, or feeling like you've got the whole puzzle but not necessarily knowing how to pick it up and move it to another space as a whole puzzle, if that makes sense, if we're speaking to analogies for this energy. So reflecting and correcting, taking the time to look at your situation, look at how you've been approaching it, or your situations, look at how you've been approaching them. I feel like I look like Sideshow Bob today. My hair is really dry. I typically do a twist out or a braid out, and I'm like, you know what, I need to give my hair a little bit of a break. And so I've been doing my natural curl pattern, just wash and go. But I live in Colorado where there's not a lot of moisture, so wash and go means that my hair gets really dry by the end of the day. And so now it's just like a big old poof on the top of my head. And usually, I mean, like it's a poof all day, but it's a moisturized poof throughout the day. Right now, I'm not feeling moisture in there. So I have to get that together before I go to bed. There is a square to the moon during this retrograde, which is interesting. There's also a square to the moon with Pluto retrograde as well, which places an emphasis on our emotions and our thoughts. It's going to be intense. You know, I say don't give your power to these retrogrades. These little pieces of information, this insight that I give you guys is just to help you maneuver through these times. But I will say that this Mercury retrograde may come at us a little rough, tough, and dirty. Typically when Mercury retrogrades 4 times a year, for whatever reason it is, the retrograde periods are just very chaotic. So I will say that a lot of us will be feeling this Mercury retrograde energy. It also is coming hand in hand with with a lunar, actually a solar and a lunar eclipse. The solar eclipse is right before it during the shadow, and the lunar eclipse is right at the start of it, right after the start of it. So also coming in with this eclipse, so you got retrograde energy and the energy of change and transformation with the eclipse, which I'll have another video up on that as well. But so be prepared to just feel a lot of this retrograde-ish energy, okay? And when you feel it, try not to let it consume you. Stop, analyze the situation, adapt, tap into that Gemini energy however you need to, and then use a little bit of that practical Taurus energy to move forward after you think your plans through 2, 3, 4 times, okay? That's very important with Mercury retrograde, really thinking these things through before you make moves. I don't necessarily tell people don't do anything or don't make decisions, but if you're going to do that during the retrograde period, you've got to lend a lot of thought to your process, okay? And you're gonna have to analyze it a couple of times before you actually make those moves. Regular Mercury retrograde things to look out for: miscommunication all the time with Mercury retrograde. Just, you know, people, sometimes things get jumbled in conversation. People might not be speaking things the way they want to, or things might be coming out that people may not intend to come out, but you know how that goes. If it's blurted out, they might mean it. Miscommunications, misunderstandings. There's also short-term travel being affected, and that is because Mercury governs communication, and so linking up with people is underneath those communications, and that is where travel comes in, and Mercury does also govern short-term travel. Also with communication, there is electronics, and even though Mercury doesn't govern electronics, it governs communication, and we use our electronics to communicate. So I always tell people to back up your electronics, make sure you got insurance, and make sure you got cases and screen protectors, all the things. Save your work 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Expect for some electronic things to be a little held up. If you have to do a lot of things over email or over a platform, they're probably going to go a little bit slower than they typically would. Just be prepared for that. Let's get into the numerology very quickly, because I got 5 minutes before I gotta go get my clothes out the wash. It's starting in 4 degrees in the sign of Gemini. So 4, dealing with foundations, using our intellect with that Gemini energy to come up with new ideas. And then it's ending in 26 degrees, which breaks down to 8, which is all about cycles and transformation, and, you know, again, connecting to that transformative energy of the eclipse. Ending in the sign of Taurus, so we're building on these new energies, cycling into these new spaces with these new ideas and new energies that we are stepping into, okay? It's actually starting and ending on a 3-day. Let me make sure I got my math right on that. 12, 3, yep, 6, 9, what is that? 6, yep, that's a 3. Yep, it is starting and ending on a 3 days. So 3 is communication, creativity, collaboration. Also 3 is a number of manifestation and positivity. 3 is a very positive, jovial number. So there is this energy of refreshing things in our lives, and also bringing little, again, pieces of the puzzle together, pieces that belong in this puzzle together, so that you can set yourself up for that foundational energy with that 4 degrees to move into these spaces of creating success in the areas you want to see success in once Mercury stations direct. Okay, what else? That's it. This is not a moon video, so that's it. So just to recap, this pretty much just said what Mercury retrograde is all about: adapting, shifting the plans, adapting where we need to, and then charging forward on those plans with the once Mercury stations direct, because we're dealing with Mercury lending a lot of thought and analytical abilities to the things that we are sifting through in our lives currently. And this is a short time period. It ends in a couple of weeks. It ends on the 3rd, right at the beginning of June. So we're not in the chaos for too long. Okay. What else? That's it. People that are going to be most affected: people with Mercury in Gemini or Taurus, people with their Mercury placements in 4 degrees or 26 degrees, or within the orb of that, which is like 6 or 7 degrees. Closer to the number, more you'll feel more of an effect. A lot of air or earth placements in your charts, a lot of mutable or fixed placements in your charts. You can also look at your chart and the transits to see what Mercury is doing connected to your chart, or in comparison to your chart, to see where in your life shifts are going to be happening. I actually haven't looked at my chart, so I'm not entirely sure, and I'm over Mercury at this point, so I don't even know that I want to look. I have an idea though, with Mercury being in Gemini and Taurus. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. You guys, I'm also tired. I gotta go get my clothes out of the dryer, but I wanted to put this information up for you guys. If you need a Mercury retrograde reading, or you want some insight into what this retrograde is bringing about for you, where you need to reflect and correct, go on and book one with me. I have that link for you down in the description box. Okay, thank you for tuning in. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. I was gonna say, dude, what platform am I on? Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you like to keep up with free astro info, and some free readings. Share if you know anybody who needs some info or insight on this current Mercury retrograde. And what else? Thank you. I was like, what's the other letter? The other letter is thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will catch y'all next time. Good luck. I also want to send you guys good luck, because I'm gonna be real, Mercury retrograde has been taxing me, and I am ready for it to be over. So good luck to you guys. I hope it's not taking you out like it's been taking me out. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.